I would get sober, my family might get their hopes up, and this time I started to experience those promises that the book talks about. And I never had that before. And then not only that, when you are looking for a solution like that finally makes sense for so long, and then you finally find it. Because look, when I showed up at the Hope Center, I was one of those like, this might work for y'all, but it ain't gonna work for me. I tried it all. I've been to treatment, all these other places. I've been in AA, I did drug court, did prison time. Nothing kept me sober. And so when they broke that physical allergy and that mental obsession and then gave me a program of action, it was like, it was just an answer to my prayers.
What's going on, world? It's your favorite podcast, Built by the Red Stick. Your boys are back at it like a crack addict.
Can't say that, Michael.
Why not?
This is a recovery podcast.
Yes, Lord. Your boy, Ronnie LeDuff. What's up with the hearts today, dude?
My daughter keep doing it. So every time she see me, so I'm doing this at her because she gonna see this.
Oh, Sarai, baby.
Sarai, baby.
It's your boy, Ronnie LeDuff,
Yo.
Michael Oakley. Listen, we got the fire content coming back to back. Listen, Linda.
All right.
Do me a favor. Smash the subscribe button. Don't tap that thing. Smash it.
Yo.
Give us a like. Leave a little comment. And share. Send it to your mama.
Sharing is caring.
Yeah.
Sharing is caring.
Don't be a square. Smash
Share.
the share.
Use your head. Help the spread.
But yeah, look, take the video.
Yep.
Send it to your group message.
Come on now.
And then tell them to send it to another group message.
Come on.
And then tell them to send it to another group
Oh
message.
my God.
I
love it.
That was
Yes,
beautiful.
Lord. Yes, Lord. But we got a fire episode today. Name be ringing bells in the streets.
You can ring my bell.
Bell.
Big dog.
Yes, Lord.
Huh? You here trying to get out the killer over there now.
Keep the money
We
flipping.
can't-
That's all I know, baby.
Been in it for all the story I know, but we can't
I'm a
hold it
dog.
back no longer.
Dog.
We can't. The cage is rattling.
Yes, Lord. So without further ado,
Oh my God.
let me alley-oop it to the best hype man in this damn country. Your boy, Ronnie LeDuff.
Boom! Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, tall women and short women. Hey. Before this episode, I thought Lake Charles was a square place.
Square.
Lame play.
Lane.
Oh, lame ass play. You know what I'm talking about?
What is it?
Dusted
318?
318. I thought it was dusted and
Ugh.
disgusting. I thought Lake Charles was only plants and trailers.
Yeah.
Until I met little Sally walking down the street. She didn't know what to do, so she jumped in front of me. I'm talking about empowerment of women. You know what I mean?
Yes, Lord.
A real big speaker in the community.
Real big speaker.
A super representative for the women in recovery and people in recovery like us. You know what I mean? Went from jail cells to wedding bells. You know what I'm talking about?
Talk your
Hey,
shit.
you know what I'm talking
Talk
about?
your
You
shit.
feel what I'm
I
saying?
feel what you're
Really,
saying.
really embodying what it looks like to get in this program, take heed, take the suggestions, and utilize all the stools and steps in this program, and then add some fitness into it. You get Miss Sally, new to y'all, old to us, still the real deal in the Built by the Red Stick building.
Oh my goodness.
God damn.
Made me cry a little bit.
So,
I'm ready to run through a brick wall, coach.
I'm ready to do it.
Let's
I'm
do it.
sorry, Ken. I'm about to knock all the acoustics out this mother.
Welcome, Miss Sally. We're
Thank
glad you
you.
came to
Super
join
glad
us.
to have
I'm
you.
grateful to be here.
So, before we start inquisiting you, asking the questions, asking all the questions.
I see what you're doing, buddy.
Woo! Woo! Tell the people a little bit about yourself, who you are, where you're from.
So my name's Sally. I'm the marketing director at the Washington Street Hope Center.
Shout out to Hope Center. I love all my
the
people
OG.
over there.
A
Miss
lot of people don't
Chassie.
know we are the OG.
Yes.
Hope Center been around since Hope was Hope.
What they
Yeah.
called it, the big book boot camp.
Yep.
When I
Boot
I
camp.
got in the room.
Yep. So I am in recovery. My sobriety date is October the 1st, 2021. I just made 4 years sober in October.
Brad, shout out.
October,
you.
baby.
Yes, Lord.
So, and I am from Lake Charles, Louisiana. So, and I did go through the Hope Center, and that's where I got sober at.
Yes. Putting on for Lake Charles.
Yeah, I
Didn't
put
know
on
a
for my city.
dang thing about Lake Charles. You know what I'm saying?
So, yeah.
So what was life like in Lake Charles for you growing up? coming up?
So growing up, I come from a good family. I'm the only person in my family that has struggled with this disease. I can remember I grew up with, there was a situation in my life whenever I was really young, and a person in my life who I wanted to accept me and to like me, and nothing I could do would get that person to like me. So at a very young age, I started off with a very low self-esteem. Yeah. And I always did feel different. I got diagnosed with ADHD at the age of 6, so I was put on the medication. And I remember not liking the way it made me feel. And so I took the medication. I was a very hyperactive child, had a lot of, some behavioral issues. Yeah. My parents divorced at an early age. They both got remarried when I was young. And so there was a lot of change in my life at a very young age. And so, and I had a lot of hard time focusing in school and things. And so I remember being on that medication and not liking it.
I hated it.
Yeah. Growing up, I was really involved in sports. I had a very good childhood.
What kind of sports we playing?
I played basketball, cross country. I ran track.
Is cross country a sport?
Can you run a few miles?
I'm in my blood.
Yes, it's a sport.
He said basketball too,
I
bro.
I don't know why I picked on cross country. I'm sorry, cross country people out there. I'm just saying. All right, go. You right. It's a sport.
So, I didn't really, I remember the first time really enjoying the effects of drugs and alcohol. I had gotten a really bad four-wheeler accident, and I think I was in 8th grade, and I messed my knee up. And I remember them I went to the hospital, they gave me Percocets. And oh my God, it's my mom. So I was in the emergency room. You know how they have the things on the walls at the doctor's office, and it's got those black things that go in your ears that they put.
Oh, yeah.
So I put one on, I was so high on these Percocets. I put one on each of my fingers, and the doctor walks in, I go, whoa. So my mom was like, do not give her any more.
They didn't have video,
I know,
little kid
like
videos.
the wisdom teeth videos
So
and
I'm like
stuff.
talking to the doctor like this, and my mom was like, realize I'm, so she's like, don't give her any more. But that was probably the first time I remember actually like, oh my gosh. So, my wanting to be accepted and wanting to be loved so bad, and my low self-esteem issues kind of, when I felt that feeling, I didn't care.
You didn't care.
I didn't care.
Yep.
And I liked that, And I'm kind of a perfectionist as well, and I can beat myself up if I don't say the right thing or do the right thing, even from an early age before I actually got into my active addiction. So anyway, moving forward to high school, I started dating this guy who was in a band. I was 16 years old, and I thought I was in love, and he used drugs. And I used to be very against it, and then I met him, and he was popping pills, smoking weed, and I was in love. Yep. And so I started using with him. And, some say, they talk about the physical allergy and the mental obsession. Some people say that the allergy happens over a period of time, and some of them say you're born with it. I believe I was born with it because my life was unmanageable from that moment. From that moment, I met that guy. I had just got my driver's license. I started skipping basketball practice, skipping school, and I went to a private school as well. And so,
private school girls are trouble.
I said as well when she looked at me
because I know you went to one.
Your story. That means that our guests watch the show, and I love it.
Yes.
I love it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Listen, I will always do my homework and come prepared.
Come on now,
yes, Lord.
Okay.
Let's go.
So, started using, and really that was my junior year in high school. And then my senior year in high school is when I really went downhill, ecstasy, cocaine. And, this was back in 2004. And so,
my age.
Yeah, I'm 38.
I didn't know that.
Yep.
I thought you was younger than me.
No, I'm 38.
Okay.
So, I actually ended up getting kicked out of well, I played basketball at a private school so they could drug test me at any time.
What was the name of the school?
Hamilton Christian Academy.
Never heard of it.
And, it's in Lake Charles. And so, I walk into the class and I walk into my house and my mom's like, well, they want to drug test you. And if you fail, they're going to kick you out. I said, I'm not going to fail it. I'm not going to pass it. So she pulled me out and I went to a public school and graduated from public school. Caught my first charge at my senior year in high school, got put in pretrial diversion.
Who you beat up?
Well, nobody. So my friend and I went out and we ended up finding somebody's purse, cashed a check. I was 17, she was 16. And it's bad when your mom, your stepdad, and your real dad pull up on you in the same vehicle and be like, come on, we got to take you to the police station. And they hooked me up to a lie detector test. And so I caught my first charge and got put on pretrial diversion. And that's when I came into the rooms of AA. I was court ordered. And I was not educated. I did not understand. This was over 20 years ago.
So let me ask you a question while we're there, because sometimes there's a lot of different opinions. Do you think it did more harm or more good being introduced to AA at that young of an age?
I was completely against it. Number one, I wasn't ready. I was just getting started, and I wasn't an alcoholic.
Yeah,
right.
So
my thing is I always see, not always, but I've seen. And not necessarily AA, but more like the treatment world. You get 18, 19-year-old kid who parents call them smoking weed, and they go in with a minor and smoking weed and leave with a master's and shooting heroin.
Oh, absolutely. So this was before treatment. So after that, I didn't understand it. Now, this was back, I was the youngest person in the room. There's a bunch of old timers smoking cigarettes, drinking coffee. And here I am, a 17-year-old in a room with they're all in their 50s, 60s, 70s. And I could not relate to anything they were talking about. So I didn't actually go to I got my first treatment center. I was 18 years old. I was court ordered. I had got busted. This was right after Katrina. Everybody was getting them $2,000 stimulus checks. I took mine and went to Houston and brought back a bunch of dope with me to Lafayette. I was going to college at UL in Lafayette. Overdosed in the bathroom. The cops come in and I had a bunch of dope on me and cash, and so I got arrested. So
you transitioned this time to a stronger drug, or?
So when I got busted with my at 17, at 18 I was shooting up. I started shooting up at the age of 18. So and I was from 17, it was rolling on ecstasy almost every single day of the week. I dove in head first. The moment I started using, I dove in head first. It wasn't just smoking pot for
it wasn't a real build.
Somebody committed,
Yeah.
You right?
So I got arrested on the UL campus and got locked up. I had to sign a piece of paper in the dean's office saying I could never come on the campus again because I got busted. I thought I was a dope dealer. I was not selling drugs. I was using my own supply. But so I got court ordered at the age of 18 to my first treatment center. This was in 2005. So what you were saying a minute ago, I had never used heroin and crack were my drugs of choices. Okay. I had never used that before. And my roommate, who was from Tampa, Florida, was talking to me about it, and it made me want to try it. I was just going to treatment to get out of jail at that point in time. Yeah. I remember calling my mom, and I just was like, okay, whatever I got to do, Yeah. And my mom thought she could save me. I'm my mom's only biological child. She thought, not my daughter, not if I have anything to do with it. And they didn't understand the disease, so I was able to manipulate and get away with a lot at the beginning. I'm talking she would bail me out of jail, get me paid attorneys. I am not a good drug addict. I do a lot of stupid stuff. I commit crimes. I go to jail every single time. Every single time. So, anyway.
I go to jail.
So that treatment center was a 90-day treatment center. It took me 4.5 months to complete because I kept getting in trouble.
Y'all got a lot in common. What?
Hey,
Just saying.
So,
hard
yeah.
head make for a soft ass.
But that was just for, 18. So I've been to the Hope Center was my 9th treatment center in total.
In how many years?
From 18.
So I got sober at 34.
Okay. So that's a little stretch.
I've done about 5 years in prison. Now 3 years prison time, actual big girl prison, and then the other was parish time.
So that's when I met you. You was newly kind of released from jail.
I got out of prison in 2019.
Yeah.
You got out in 2019. You got sober in 21.
Yes.
Or you got sober
So
this time in 21.
in between all of that, in and out of treatment, I've been to treatment in Mississippi. I've been to treatment in California. So I've been in drug court. I've been.
Calcasieu?
Yep.
Oh, Calcasieu.
And they did not want me in it. They did not want me in drug court. I ended up going to prison. So I was not just, So I've even went to treatment in Europe.
Europe?
Yes. So by the time I got sober, I've been to Scientology-based treatment centers, faith-based treatment centers. The one in Europe, I lived in a convent with a bunch of nuns.
She said she went to.
So
Yeah.
if you before you go in the bathroom, you're American. And after you come out the bathroom, you're American. What are you in there? What are you when you in there?
European.
Dang.
So, all right. Time out. First off, how much does it cost to go to treatment in fucking Europe?
I would never know, bro.
Second off, and you don't have to answer how much it costs. I don't really need to know all that. What is treatment like in Europe?
So
You're in a convent with nuns.
Yeah.
That's what you was in for real?
Yeah. So I started off in a small town in Italy, and then I got moved to Medjugorje, Bosnia. So what happened was, I had some friends over at my mom's house, and they robbed us. They robbed my mom's. I had passed out, and but it looked like I set it up.
Yeah.
My parents are out of town, and that might have been something I would have done. Because the type of addict alcoholic that I am. I will do. Everybody can get it.
Anybody ain't no picks.
Like I will do whatever I have to do. I'm so selfish and inconsiderate and just a liar when I'm using. Like completely different person.
No matter who I got to step through.
If you're my best friend, my man, it's whatever.
I'll rob you and help you look for it.
Yes. So and I try to think about that. Like I remember the first time I actually started working the steps, and I was like, you mean I can't ever use again? Because I didn't just use to escape reality. I like to get messed up. I like the way it makes me feel.
100%.
And like I kind of had to accept the fact that, but it wasn't. It was so much more than that. Like I never want to be that person again.
Absolutely.
Like I am the scum of the earth when I'm using. So anyway, I was in a convent with a bunch of nuns. Barely anybody spoke English. It was all Italian. We said the rosary, went to mass. I made rosaries, birdhouses. We worked.
So it was like Handmaid's Tale.
It was kind of like a they put you to work. It was a great experience. The deal was I was supposed to stay for a year, and I got I got arrested, got in jail, and my mom was like, she's like, the only way I will help you is if you will go to treatment for a year. So I go to treatment. I'm like, okay, whatever. I'd been locked up for maybe 8 months at this time. I'm like, all right, whatever. Just get me out of here.
Get me out of here.
And so I started at a place in Jacksonville, Florida, and then you go, your intake is in Florida, and then you go to Europe after that.
Bro, talk about the marketing expense.
So I stayed for 8 months, and I ran. I was in Bosnia, and I just took off on foot. And so I'm walking down the street. I was gone for 24 hours, and the cops find me. And they're like, that's how powerful the obsession was. Like, I'm in Bosnia with no form of identification. They have all my documents, right? And I just took off walking. And so the cops find me. They bring me back. I'm an American. I'm an American on foreign soil, and I was their responsibility. So they put me on a plane ticket They put me on a plane back to Jacksonville, Florida, and I called my mom from Jacksonville, Florida, from the airport. And I was like, all right, Mom, I'm back. She goes, I don't know what to tell you. She said, the deal was a year, and you didn't hold up your end of the bargain. So I'm like, I get off the phone, I'm like, oh, man. And my mom is from Dallas, Texas. So she was like, my stepdad was kind of like, look, you can't just leave her in Florida. So they get me a Greyhound bus ticket and I moved to Dallas, Texas.
Well, you drove a bus from Jacksonville, Florida to Dallas, Texas?
And listen, I had been sober for about about a year and a half because I'd been locked up and I had a little bit of cash on me because the place gave me money for food. And I sit down, the girl next to me is nodding off. She had just left the methadone clinic.
Look at God. That's what you said.
I said, give me whatever I can get. It was the worst 17-hour Greyhound, but that was the worst. I threw up the entire way.
I bet.
It was horrible. Horrible.
Jeez.
So, yeah, it was not fun. But
So,
God.
what was life like at 32, 33 that led you to the point of life you're at where you go to the Hope Center and find sobriety?
So, one of my biggest consequences was I do have a daughter who I had in prison. I got locked up and I was pregnant. Now, mind you, I have 2 kids, okay? My son, I was 7 or 8 months pregnant, got locked up, and my mom went and saw the judge, and she was like, he said, if she can pass a drug test, I'll let her out. Well, guess what? Can't pass a drug test. So what he did was he goes, okay. And I'm like, my baby's due in like a few weeks. And my mom's up there begging, trying to ask this judge to let me out. He goes, okay. He goes, if she's willing to do drug court, I'll lower her bond. You can bond her out and she has to do drug court. So I got put in drug court. Now, mind you, this judge let me out to have my first child. Okay. This judge has played a big part in my life. I'm going to get there in a little bit. And how God has kind of turned that around.
Absolutely.
But so here I am again, pregnant, on shooting up meth, and in front of him again, begging him. I'm like, please let me out. He goes, you think I'm going to let you out to have this one? He goes, I'll let you out to have the last one. He was like, no. He goes, you're going to have this baby in jail. And so I remember going back to my cell. Now I had been on methadone for so long. That because I was pregnant and locked up, they had to give me my methadone because I was pregnant.
Dang.
So I did my whole term of pregnancy in a lockdown cell by myself because I was on methadone. They wouldn't have let me around the other inmates.
Right.
And so I remember going back to the cell and I just fell to my knees and I just was like, God, if I have to have this girl in jail, you might as well just take my life now. And I just like cried and cried, but I experienced God in that moment probably in ways that I never would have. And I'm grateful for that. And the Holy Spirit spoke to me in that moment, and he is proving now, I see, in what he told me in that moment. So
chill bumps, boy.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So anyway, I did get out. Got out on probation with a 10-year suspended sentence. Started IOP to work my case plan to get my daughter back. I lasted a few weeks because I didn't have a program of action.
Right.
I didn't know. Like, I thought for a very long time all I needed was God. If I just go to church and do the right thing, then that's all I need. And yes, God and my relationship with God is the main reason why I'm sober today.
Absolutely.
But I didn't know anything about actually
How to connect.
No, I didn't know about character defects or how to really pray and meditate or, carry the message or I didn't all the things that AA teaches you. So, guess what? I caught a bunch of new charges and was back in jail, and I was backing up 10 years.
Well,
In front of the same judge.
In front of the same judge.
Boy, Sally
And
again.
yeah.
In front of the same judge.
Look,
Bruh.
So this judge has already let me out and gave me multiple chances. Look, from 18 to when I got out of prison, I was locked up for most of that time, you know?
Yeah.
I would get out, stay clean for a few months, relapse, go to jail. Get out, stay clean, and then finally I went to prison, you know? So I remember going in front of him, and he was like, look, he was like, he goes, look, you're getting revoked. So you can like fight these new charges and want to go to court, or if the deal we have for you now, if you pleaded these 2 new felonies, we'll knock your 10 down to 9. I said, well, 9 is better than 10. I'll take the 9. So I went to prison, got out on April 13th of 2019, and I moved here.
Sobriety date.
April 13th?
Yeah.
Oh, so look.
Of 2019.
I moved here. My dad picked me up. I did my time at Jetson. Well, you know, St. Gabriel flooded and opened up Jetson and Baker. Right. So that's where I did my time. And I got out and I moved here and back to Baton Rouge. I moved into Oxford, sober living house. Never been in sober living before. Started going to these meetings, and I didn't know what the hell anybody was talking about. Like, I'm going to AA and they're like, oh, I'm a grateful alcoholic. And I was one of those. I was like, first of all, I'm not an alcoholic. And I'm going to these meetings and like people are talking about these steps that I've never worked before. And I've heard these words before, but I was not educated. Right. I was not educated on what any of this stuff meant. I'd heard the word physical allergy before, but I didn't know what the hell any of that meant. I had never really actually worked with a sponsor and done a 4th and 5th step. Yes, I'd written my life story and all the things, but I'd never done, you know, an inventory and a house cleaning and all the things. So what got me to the Hope Center is in Oxford, I started drinking, and once I start doing the sugar daddy thing and all of that is over with. You know, I had a really messed up view of what love was. And so,
we all.
Yeah.
in my old ways, my hustle, I was a dancer and sugar daddies. That was my hustle when I was using. And I would always revert to those old ways. And anytime I'm living like that, I'm going to get loaded behind it. Any single time. So, but I didn't really recognize that until I came into the program, you know. So I relapsed, went on like a year and a half long spree. And what happened was, this is what brought me to the program. At this time, I was really bad off on crack. And I'm talking homeless, sleeping outside. And I went and did some H in the bathroom. And I don't know what was in it, but I blacked out. And I come to, and there's a cop. And I was stealing from the store. You know, was shoving a bunch of stuff into my bag. And there's a cop standing next to me. I'm on parole, right? And that judge, he says, Sally, if I see you again, I'm multi-billing you. Ooh. He goes, you will do 20 flat if you come in front of me again. And so it was really fear that brought me to it brought me to detox at first. So they gave me a ticket. And it's COVID. They're not locking a lot of people up, so they gave me a ticket. And I'm like, oh, man, I'm about to go back to prison, man. And so I was out of money. I mean, I didn't even have somebody's couch I could sleep on. You know, like that's
all the bridges burned.
All the bridges were burned.
Shattered.
Nobody would talk to me, my family, like, and so I showed up to my homeboy's house who's in recovery out here in Baton Rouge, and I knocked on his door. I had just did my last shot. I'm about to start detoxing. And so I walk into his house. I ain't ate. I was so hungry. And, I'm like, I need help. And I'm thinking, I'm going to take me a good shower. I'm going to sleep on his couch tonight. He got me. In 30 minutes, got me into detox. I'm like, damn.
Damn it.
And so I go to detox here in Baton Rouge, and I was supposed to stay in Baton Rouge and go to treatment. It was just, dude, I can see God all throughout it.
Yeah.
And so I remember my caseworker, which is strange to me because I'd never heard of Marksville before, and I'd never heard of the Hope Center before. And because I'd been to treatment so many times, like I had never and there were times in between, like I would go to treatment, stay for 2 or 3 days, leave.
Yeah.
So I'm like, all right. And really, I really just didn't want to sleep outside anymore. It's not that I even necessarily thought that I could get sober. I didn't have no options.
Yeah,
like I needed a roof over my head. And so I was supposed to go here in Baton Rouge somewhere. And when it was my time to discharge, the beds were full. And she goes, Sally, she goes, you need to get out of Baton Rouge. The next day, that last stimulus check was hitting my bank account. And I'd been using dope in Baton Rouge for the past year and a half. So thank God I did get out of Marksville, out of Baton Rouge, because that money would have hit my bank account. I probably would have taken off.
100%.
So, and my caseworker had been sober for like 14 years. She was like, this is where I went. I got sober. I'm like, okay, whatever, you know? And so that's how I ended up at the Hope Center. And, it changed my life.
Hell yeah. So where are your kids at during all this time?
So when my son was 2, I signed complete rights over. Okay. To my mom. She had custody of my son. Now I have him back full time. He lives with me now.
Oh, God, do it.
You gotta love those.
Oh, God, do it.
So, Bree, who is my daughter, who is adopted. They brought me to the hospital. Had a C-section with her. I was in the hospital for 5 days. And DCFS shows up. I leave.
You went back to jail.
I remember standing over her in shackles, having to go back to jail, and that was probably one of the hardest things I ever had to do. I didn't know. You hear so many horror stories about DCFS and foster care and things like that. I cannot say anything like that about my experience. Okay. DCFS shows up. She's been with the family that she's with since she was 5 days old. They have adopted her. It was a closed adoption. They allow her to be in my life. She was the flower girl in my wedding.
Oh,
They told her I was her birth mom on my wedding day. I can go get her. She stays some of the weekends with me. I can see her as much as I want. And I remember praying for that. I remember going back to my cell after. I would have nightmares of in my dreams. This girl would be crying for me, and I couldn't get to her. And I remember praying, and God just kept telling me, Sally, it's going to work out. Like,
Yeah.
And she's in my life.
So you go through your 30 days of Hope Center, and all those terms that you didn't know about, you knew about after that, because I know how the Hope Center runs. What does that first year look like, right? Because obviously...
So I had a relapse after the Hope Center. I showed up at the Hope Center at the beginning in March of 2021. I stayed in Marksville, went to the sober living house, and I stopped working my program.
Absolutely.
I didn't want nobody to tell me what to do. That pride and ego crept back in. I'm like, and so I took advantage of the like what they gave me. You know, I was in the Hope Center sober living. I didn't want to go sponsor people anymore. I didn't want to talk to my sponsor anymore. I'm like, I got to go to another meeting, you know, the daily inventory. And when we retire at night, in our sober living, we have weekly meetings,
Right.
and you have to do those things. They check that. And I was just doing it just to turn in something. You can do something without actually doing it.
Right.
You know, and what happened was I started getting spiritually sick, and I experienced what they talk about in the book, cunning, baffling, and powerful, because that obsession doesn't return the way you think it's going to return, you know? Sure. And that night, and then it ruins you. Like, you can't even enjoy. Before I even put the first one in, I remember fixing that margarita, and I said, I'm going to have to go back to treatment. I hadn't even put the first one in yet, but I knew because of what I had learned.
I remember the first time I went to treatment, and when I relapsed, I was living in a sober living house. Everybody was sober. Everybody was sober.
Ish. Sober-ish.
No, everybody. Funny fact is, so the first time I got sober, I lived at like Next Step for like a month after being in treatment for like 3 months, and my mom and dad had moved out of our childhood home into a new home, and they let me and some people that I went to treatment with move into. There was 4 of us that moved into my childhood home, and like I said, everybody who lived in that house stayed sober.
That's how that house started?
The first one?
Yeah. The one I used to cut the grass.
No.
Oh,
No.
Okay.
This was a long time ago. This was in 2013.
Gotcha. Okay.
But anyway, it was right down the street from where I would score dope, the Horseshoe in Baton Rouge. If you've done dope in Baton Rouge, you know where the Horseshoe is. And so a bunch of shit had happened. I was like, I'm getting high. And so I walked to the Horseshoe, and I paid extra, and I bought one pill. Because, back in the day, you buying just a single, you got to pay a little extra.
Yeah.
So I bought one. And on my way back, I knew it. Mm-hmm. I was like, what am I doing? Why did I buy one? I get to the house, I do it, and like not even 15 minutes later, I'm walking back to like you said, it ruined it. I knew it. But anyway, you're fine. So you had your relapse. Did you go back to treatment, or did you just?
So at this point in time, I'm still on parole. Fear brought me back again this time because I relapsed. My dad finds out, and he goes, so the car I'm driving is in my dad's name. He calls me. He goes, if you don't go back to treatment, I'm calling your parole officer, and I'm calling the cops, and I'm reporting the car stolen.
Yes, Lord.
So I'm like, oh. So I show back up to treatment, and
It's biological pops or step pops?
this is my real pop.
Okay.
Yeah. So I was mad at him, but I'm very grateful for that he did that for me. So I show back up, and I probably cried every single day for the first. I mean, I was rolling a bowl the entire way to treatment. I had been in a hotel room by myself for a few days, and I'm doing meth, Xanax, heroin, and when I'm by myself, I'm gonna pick, So my whole face was messed up. I show up to treatment looking like Frankenstein. Seriously, I wish we would have gotten a picture of it now. So I cried the whole first week of treatment because every single thing they said reminded me of what I took advantage of and where I went wrong. But it's almost like once I came and I learned the solution and I stopped doing what worked and that obsession returns, because I had never had recovery like that before. Right. I was either drinking on methadone or like actual abstinence from everything. Right. I'd never experienced that before. And I never experienced having the obsession being removed. I can remember like when I was locked up in prison wanting to get high so bad I could taste it. And I'm like, dude, if this is what's being sober is being like, you might as well just put a bullet in my head. So I had never experienced that before. And that once you lose that, you almost feel like you can never get it back. Yep. And so I cried. I remember them sitting me down in the office. They were like, Sally, are we going to have to send you somewhere? Because you just can't stop crying. And I'm like, I was just so mad at myself. And like, because I would get sober, my family might get their hopes up, and this time I started experience those promises that the book talks about. And I never had that before. And then not only that, when you are looking for a solution like that finally makes sense for so long, and then you finally find it. Because look, when I showed up at the Hope Center, I was one of those like, this might work for y'all, but it ain't gonna work for me. I tried it all. I've been to treatment, all these other places. I've been in AA, I did drug court, did prison time. Nothing kept me sober. And so when they broke that physical allergy and that mental obsession and then gave me a program of action, it was like... it was just an answer to my prayers. Absolutely. So I had the relapse, went back to the Hope Center, and went back to the sober living house in Marksville. And so the first year was probably the easiest. That first year of sobriety was the easiest. I was in sober living, I'm just kind of...
Man, I wish I could bang that into people's heads.
My first year this time was the funnest I've had in sobriety.
Listen, I know that there's a lot of guilt and shame and remorse, like clearing the wreckage of your past that first year. I get all of that. But like, especially if you end up in a good sober living with a good community and like that fellowship you build and that like camaraderie and all of that stuff. And like, and in reality, like your responsibility that first year, like you get a job whatever. You pay your little bills. You go out to eat. You go to meetings, and you work
Yeah.
the steps. I mean, it's
And you get laughed at for how you eat chicken.
anyway. So the first year is easy. How do we get to the Sally we see today? So what was that journey like?
So, so as a marketing director, I would have never imagined. I'll never forget. So Chastity, who's our executive director, she told me, I need you to get your shit together so you can do some marketing for me. And I'm like,
What?
but it planted a seed, and that's seriously nothing that would have never ever crossed my mind. But
Same.
I love it so much because I like people and I like to talk.
Yep.
You know, and you might not make it to that 1 o'clock
She
podcast.
carried it, bro.
I'm just playing.
You was nervous. You
So when I started this, I went up to her and I was like, look, let me just try it. I'm going to go out and you ain't even got to pay me. And
You want a job?
because I was like 2 months sober.
Okay.
And I'm like, let me just, fill it out. And I didn't know what the hell I was talking about. I didn't know what insurances we took. I didn't, So I went out and God just started opening doors, dude. And, if it weren't for the people that God put me in my life and I love what I do. I love what I do and I believe in what I do. And now I get to help others experience what I experience. And I've never seen so many people get their kids back and their lives changed. And it's just a very fulfilling job.
I mean, me and Ronnie talk about it all the time, like the high we get from
watching people light turn on. It don't get no drug
Yeah.
ever got me that high.
Yeah.
Then when you believe in the facility that you're doing it for, it's just like a trio. It's like a perfect combination.
Absolutely. So tell us, we've heard about you. Tell us a little bit about the Hope Center. Give a little shameless plug about the Hope Center.
Yeah.
So we are one of the oldest treatment facilities in the state. We're actually the ones who Miss Jo, who opened our facility, Miss Jo Hamilton, she actually brought Recovery Dynamics to the state of Louisiana.
Absolutely.
She worked with Joe McHugh and all of them, and so we have a 20-bed men facility, a 16-bed women facility. We have an IOP, 6-week IOP program, and we have a men's sober living house and a women's sober living house. Nothing changed. Nothing has changed since the doors have opened. It's still the same program since the doors have opened. And why fix what ain't broken,
Lord. What's my dude name over there? TJ?
Yeah.
TJ, my guy.
Yeah. The Hope Center is where I met my husband.
Shout out Mr. Darren.
Yeah.
All right, now, how you tame this one? What did he do?
Yeah, look, I know we're coming up on time and anything, but, you made a great reference point, and so I want to bring it back because I love when things turn full circle, right? Like, in the hopelessness of your addiction, and not even necessarily the hopelessness of your addiction, but in the hopelessness of low self-esteem and not knowing who you are and wanting acceptance, you made the comment of, like, I never knew what real love was. And now to be married to your partner and have a family and build, like, what is that piece? What is that like,
He has allowed me to heal and grow. I've never been in a healthy relationship before him. He is and still is very patient with me. We are complete opposites. I am very high and and he's so level-headed, and that is my soulmate. I honestly believe that when God made him, he had me in mind.
I see the rock
That
on your
was
finger,
selfish
you
for
know what I'm
you to
saying?
think that, but I got you.
But that's just and he has shown me that I don't have to perform or be perfect in order for him to love me.
Shout out.
That's love unconditionally right there.
And he loves my kids.
Yep.
He doesn't have any
He a
kids.
keeper.
He's, and I wanted to tell you this too. So the judge that
That's what I wanted to
Yep.
get. I was finna tie back into that too.
he did our wedding.
He was the
officiant for my wedding. So it's just,
Damn.
we just bought a house in Lake Charles a few months ago. And we moved there. I do believe that God has something for both of us in Lake Charles, but that's what I wanted to put out there too. That that judge,
judge's
and
name?
he used to Judge Richie.
Shout out Judge Richie. Man.
So he would tell me all the time, all you do is manipulate. and so I always, when I talk to him, I see him and I joke with him about that. But if it weren't for my family members too,
Absolutely.
my mom and my dad and my brother, sister, like everybody, my stepdad, it to not have to worry about what your kid whenever you're doing time. It just a blessing, and them believing on me and giving me that tough love that I needed, and my mom not answering my phone calls anymore.
I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, like I needed that.
Dude, my mom stopped sending me money a couple times, bro, and treat me this last time. I knew I had to figure something out.
Got to figure it out.
So like, look, babe, I'm gonna answer every call, but if you need clothes or something, we here. But other than that, yeah.
So with everything that with everything that you've done, right? So like me and Ronnie know you're a staple in not only the recovery community, but in the business development marketing community. Like everybody knows you, the connections you've made. One of my questions that I always ask people is like, why stay local to, Louisiana when you can move into bigger and better things, maybe outside of the state? Because sometimes Louisiana doesn't have the ability to offer all of those things, which hopefully is changing. But why stay at the Hope Center?
Because that's where God wants me. I always say, like, I know I'm doing what God's will for me right now, and there has been other opportunities.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, you're a vibrant personality that's helping hundreds, if not thousands, of people.
And it'll have to be, and I do believe God has more for me.
Absolutely.
And I am always praying, if it's not your will for me, let me know, and so when God is ready for me to move, I will, but he's not ready for me to move. And I love my job.
And Ronnie said something, like when you're at a place that you believe in,
yes,
it's impact.
It's hard to leave,
and especially as an alumni, Mm-hmm. So, you got any further questions?
Nah, bro. Look, I've learned a few things about Sally that I did not know, but I knew it would be special, and we just want to congratulate you.
Thank you.
We one of your biggest supporters. We've been cheering you on.
Cheering.
I love how you love people.
Absolutely.
And you know what I mean? Because that's
Thank you.
especially our people.
Yeah.
Not black people, but I'm just saying our people.
Those my people.
Yeah, I know.
Yes,
but
Lord.
you know what I'm saying? Like we need more people like you. So we really appreciate that.
Thank you.
So final, statement is we always get, that's your camera right there.
Okay.
If Jane Doe or even maybe John Doe is listening to this podcast and they're hearing your story and they've been down the trials and tribulations you've been to, and they now see that hope is there, but they're struggling. Mm-hmm. What would you tell them?
So you can contact me on Facebook. My name is Sally Seal, or you can contact me. My cell phone number is 318-500-2479. I'm here to help.
So what's words of encouragement you would give to a struggling mother, father, uncle, auntie right now that they just need to hear something to just give them the thought to even want to call that number?
Oh, Lord. I remember trying to reach out, and I think I was different, the good thing about somebody reaching out to somebody else in recovery is there's no judgment. Like, it's nothing but love, and it's judgment free, and there's nothing that you can say to me that is going to shock me, because I've probably done it too.
Yes, Lord.
I tell people that all the time. I've probably done worse than you.
Yeah. So that would probably be it.
Thank you.
Well, Miss Sally, we have gotten to Ronnie's least favorite time of the episode, but first, before he goes into his shenanigans, I want to thank you for coming and joining us. It's been a pleasure to sit down and chat with you. Keep doing what you're doing. I've never told you personally, but when the conferences that I've ran into you're always bright.
Yeah.
And that's why I said that is and Ronnie hit the nail on the head. You love people, and it shows. It shines through.
Thank you.
So keep doing what you're doing. You're affecting a lot of positive change, man. But Ronnie, we've got to your least favorite part.
And before I wrap it up, we're going to do it every week. March 28, 2026, we got the Hope and Hustle Fest. Cause hustle, hard. coming
Hustle.
to you.
Hustle.
Listen, we still got vendor spots open. We still got what's the word? Food sponsors.
Food vendors.
Open. Man, I'm talking
Sponsorships.
inflatables, man. Sponsorships. We're gonna have arts and craft for the kids. We're gonna have performances by the hottest artists and comedians in Baton Rouge.
Yes, Lord.
180 Slim, Joe Scott. We're gonna have my man, his man, Brandon Bruffett.
Y'all seen them on the pod.
We're gonna have DJ Mario on the ones and twos. Like I'm telling you,
The hosts are
you're
gonna be
not
fire.
at the Hope and Hustle Fest. You better hope I don't run into you in public because it's gonna be up. Be litty. Well, my kids say I can't say that no more. It's gonna be fire. And we keep telling y'all every week we're gonna continue to bring y'all fresh content, raw content. We be as vulnerable as we possibly can on Built by the Red Stick because we want to help you.
Absolutely.
You right there, the one that's listening to this. You in between whether you should call or not. Call. Reach out to me at Ronnie.
How can they call us?
They can call us at. Well, they can't call me. Well, they can call me.
But
but
how can they contact
That's
us?
what I was getting into.
Oh, my bad.
Let me come. Hey, man. I'm kind of good at this.
I was stepping on your shoe.
So you right there, I got no slides today, but yeah, I get what you're saying. You right there that's hesitating, reach out to us. You can reach out to me at LeDuff on Facebook, Michael X or Oakley on Facebook. You can email us at builtbytheredstick@gmail.com. You can even go to builtbytheredstick.com. Still don't know if that's copyright yet, but I'm gonna keep saying it till they email me. And you can reach out to us on TikTok, Built by the Red Stick, Instagram, Built by the Red Stick, Facebook, Built by the Red Stick. We love y'all.
Instagram, Built by the Red Stick.
I said IG. Did I say IG? You said IG? All right, cool. Let us love you until you learn to love yourself. All right? And we're going to be back next week with another fire episode. I promise y'all are not going to want to miss this one the same way we promised you didn't want to miss the one we just had with Miss Sally Tullos in the building.
Yes, Lord.
Until then, we'll be back at the same time, at the same place, with the same producer. Built by the Red Stick. Built by adversity. Led by courage.
We love y'all.
Yo, different. Built by the Red Stick.